Now, the Department of Justice is closing in on what's being described as the largest ever terrorism-related forfeiture. A federal judge has just given the Justice Department permission to seize a New York City skyscraper. That's not cheap real estate around here because it has ties to the Iranian government. The 36-story building just blocks from where we're filming this program is owned and operated by two groups, the Alavi Foundation and the Asa Corporation. Now, here's why these groups are significant. Asa is tied to Bank Melli, which is considered a front for the Iranian government. And Alavi is originally established by the Shah of Iran just under a different name. Now, the two organizations partnered after the Iranian Revolution in 1979 to try to avoid paying taxes. But the story gets better. Alavi has been bragging about all the donations it's made to 30 different U.S. and Canadian colleges, and some of the schools that got the money include the elite ones like Harvard and Columbia. Not surprised. For more details, let me bring on Ryan Morrill, National Security Analyst for the Clarion Project. I kind of got a laugh when we heard about Columbia because I kind of remember the Ahmadinejad speech that was going just fine until the question of gay rights came up.
Right, and that's when Ahmadinejad said, well, there are no gays in Iran, and that's because he kills them all. But the reason that relates to this topic is because just looking at their financial disclosure forms, you can find out that in that same year, this Iranian front gave $100,000 to Columbia University. And that is not just a rare example. There are examples across the country of, like you said, about 30 colleges and universities in Canada and the United States that got money from this Iranian front. And by the way, the Iranian front was also linked to their nuclear program.
Oh, and I live in New Jersey where Rutgers is, and they're getting the money. Now, we were just talking to someone from the RNC about young people and Obamacare and how hard it is to get past left-wing economics. How many professorships can be bought with this kind of money? How much influence on a college campus can be bought with this kind of money? Look, again, look at the reception that Ahmadinejad got at Columbia.
Right. Well, what we found in our research is that there are several professorships that were funded by this Iranian regime front. And guess what? Those professors are supportive of Hamas and Hezbollah and tout a pro-Iranian line. So
is that why? I mean, should that surprise anyone? When we see this really anti-Israeli sentiment on some of these college campuses, you could almost say, hey, this is where it's coming from.
You could, but it's not just the Iranian regime that's engaging in this type of influence operation. There's a lot of money coming from Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of money coming from the International Institute of Islamic Thought, which is a front for the U.S. Muslim Brotherhood, the American branch of the Muslim Brotherhood. And so this is all cataloged at clarionproject.org, and it's also not just universities. This Iranian front, whose main task was to distribute the Iranian way of life and the Iranian view of things, also gave money to over 60 Islamic sites in the U.S. and Canada.
You know, should we be surprised by any of this? I mean, honestly, really? I mean, should I be looking in the camera? I can't believe this. I'm shocked. I'm outraged. When everyone wants to buy influence, are we supposed to believe that we're the only influence peddlers on the globe?
Well, what's amazing about this is that, just like you said, when you talk about oil companies or healthcare companies or whatever engaging in these type of influence operations, lobbying. You have the Iranian regime doing the same thing. You have the Muslim Brotherhood doing the same thing. But if we say it, what are we called? Islamophobes.
Now, what about the Clinton Foundation? Where does that tie in?
They also receive money from the Alavi Foundation.
The Clinton Foundation?
Right.
Bill Clinton?
Bill Clinton.
The former president?
Correct.
Iranian money?
Received Iranian money.
Now, this might sound like a really dumb question. When we say Iranian money, do we literally mean Iranian money like Iranians or the Iranian official government?
It's all the same thing, because if you have an Iranian regime front that's even raising money from Iranians here, that's still going into the regime's pockets. And what's amazing is that there's quotes from Iranians in the United States who oppose the regime that have been saying for years, this is part of the regime's propaganda apparatus. And so when they're investing money in universities and in mosques across the country, and again, you can find out at our website what is located near you that's receiving Iranian money, you see a major ideological offensive.
So on a more obvious public face, when we see Al Jazeera coming into our yeah, we know what that is. This is sort of more indoctrination. This is to pay for professors, to pay for things that aren't openly attempting to influence, but they're trying to, as Cass Sunstein would say, nudge people in their direction.
Right, they recognize that today's students are tomorrow's leaders, and so they want to help form their views right now because Iran is in this for the long haul, and so is the other forces that are trying to influence the education system and American public opinion.
Ivy League schools, I'm looking at the list here, Harvard, Princeton, we said Columbia. When did these universities, full of the smartest people on earth, allow themselves to become incubators for this type of propaganda?
Once the check arrived.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, when you have a foundation like this that has just huge amounts of money and assets and just free checks to give around, people are going to accept those checks. But we have to recognize that the Iranians believe that they're getting something for their money. It's a cash-strapped regime. They have limited amounts of funds. And so if they're going to be giving money to a mosque or to a university, they believe they're getting something in return. They believe that that is worth their investment.
Okay, so the administration, the DOJ, are they acting on good faith here?
What do you mean by good faith?
I mean, if you told me that Eric Holder was looking the other way at the order of Barack Obama, that might not surprise me. We're looking at the DOJ being involved here. Are they protecting us in this country with this?
Yes, they are. The Justice Department is acting on this, and it looks like these assets are going to be seized. The Olivi Foundation, as you might guess, is going to appeal and say that your analysis is wrong. We are completely independent. But by the way, this is going to continue to happen even under the so-called moderate president of Iran, because as we've documented, he has given public speeches. You can see transcripts out there where he says, look, the error that Ahmadinejad and this regime is making is that they're just not nice enough.
So we'll be nice when we say death to America.
He would say, don't say death to America when the cameras are around.
Oh, now with the camera. Death to America with a smile.
Right, exactly.
Wow. This is scary stuff because, I mean, when you think about how many people might have sat in a classroom, Barack Obama went to Harvard, his wife went to Princeton, how many people might have sat in these classrooms and absorbed this stuff and found themselves taking this point of view?
Right, especially because the professors are put up on a pedestal. So when they are teaching and they're telling students, that's ingrained in their minds. So the effect is for decades. They're helping to shape permanent world views. And so if they come out and they say that Iran is a rational state or that all of our tensions with Iran is because of U.S. aggression or the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, they just created essentially an agent of influence with this student, even though there's no exchange of checks, they're not on any type of payroll. They become a what's the term? Useless or useful idiot.
Now, does this change Obama's relationship with Iran at all?
I don't think so, because if he's going to buy into this myth that President Rouhani is a moderate, he's going to say, well, this was all done before he became the president. But like I said, look at the quotes that the moderate president.
It's hard to follow Obama. This first, they were a tiny threat. He was going to meet with them without preconditions. Now he's looking at launching a strike against Syria to send a message to Iran so they don't develop nuclear weapons. So how can you say that you're launching a strike against a tiny country that's not threatening you to send a message to a country you said was a tiny threat who now is a moderate president that you don't think is a threat?
Right, and one of the things that Obama once said was back in 2008, and I couldn't believe no reporters followed up on this, was when he was giving an interview to a New York Times reporter, and he said that Hamas and Hezbollah have legitimate grievances, and that we just have to convince them that their violence undermines their legitimate claims, as he was calling them. And I can't believe that no reporter said, you're running for president, I'd like to know what legitimate claims you believe Hamas and Hezbollah have.
That's kind of like saying that the Muslim Brotherhood is largely a secular organization and then inviting them to the White House.
That's exactly right, and you have that American branch of the Muslim Brotherhood still operating in the United States. President Obama actually sent a videotaped address to the Islamic Society of North America a couple of weeks ago, which is a U.S. Muslim Brotherhood entity.
Wow. All right. Crazy information. Thanks, Ryan. Coming up, liberals like to demonize the wealthy.